Herm Schrader on the Dirty Mo Media platform from the middle of America in St. Louis, Missouri starts right now.
We are all in the middle of America too, but where it said the middle of America is where the tornadoes and stuff are supposed to be coming.
Boy, isn't that true?
What is on the news this morning?
What?
It's nice, beautiful here today.
Okay, now you got me afraid because Wednesday morning, my wife and myself, we follow you and Ann on our trikes, our motorcycles. How are we going to be Wednesday morning going to the Kyle Petty charity ride?
You'll know same time I do, but we'll be going. We're going Wednesday morning. That's rain or shine, man. That thing's got a schedule. We're leaving out of Traverse City, Michigan Saturday morning. Everyone's going to get up there Thursday evening, basically. We have a dinner Friday night, a little kickoff dinner. Saturday morning, all the bikes leave for a week-long trip, and it is a lot of fun. And it raises a lot of money for the camp, which requires a ton of money to operate for the year because of everything they do with those kids. And we stopped at the camp last year, and wow, it's amazing. I hadn't been up there in a number of years. Them kids have so much fun up there.
Kenny, isn't it fun to see that it's real? So many of these people that raise millions of dollars, so much of the money goes to administrative fees, and you're like, man, I donate $100 and they only use $20 of my money. But when you and I went to Victory Junction Gang Camp, man, it's the real deal. I mean,
oh yeah, and they said, there was some they call them campers that are up there for the week, and they said if you really want to get this place explained to you, get a camper. And we were fortunate to have a young lady that was a camper there, and she took us all around. And it's just amazing, the activities they have and the things the kids that get to do that they wouldn't normally get to do probably. So it's pretty neat. And everyone on the ride, which there basically be 250 people on the ride, 125 bikes, plus all the support. They got such a big support crew. Everything's so organized, from the fuel stops to the dinners to the hotels. I mean, they've just got it down so good. But to see the fans, every time we have a stop, we call it a fuel stop, but it's really a fan stop. Kyle refers to them as fan stops. And, you can go online on the Kyle Petty ride and see where we're going to stop when. And if it says 10:15 Tuesday morning, we're going to be at this place, well, it's going to be somewhere between 10:10 and 10:20. We're going to all pull into that place. And people line up. We got a little Coke, supplies, drinks, and we have a little snack. And we're there for probably 45 minutes, and we get to meet a lot of fans throughout the country. It's really cool.
Yeah. I appreciate you letting us talk about this, Charlie. This is something near and dear to our heart. And Kenny, one thing I want to touch on is, you've been riding motorcycles your whole life. I mean, from the time you were a kid. And Kyle Petty said something to me that I really liked. He says, when we started this, I thought it was about motorcycles. He says, turned out it's about people.
Oh,
and you've met so many people that I've been introduced to. So as of right now, I think there's 4 of us leaving here on Wednesday. Where are we at right now? How many of us are leaving?
There's 4, 6, 8, 10 of us leaving Wednesday.
Wow.
Yes, Wednesday morning there's 10 of us leaving.
That's exciting.
Yes, we have 2 couples from North Carolina, you and Kim, Ann, and I, and some friends from down by Cape Girardeau. So we're all leaving out. There's 10 of us leaving, going to our friends, Jackson, Michigan, the John and Julie Bailey. Stay there Wednesday night. Thursday, cruise up to the destination hotel for the start in Traverse City. And then we'll leave out of there Saturday morning.
Yeah, and I'm looking right now. We'll end like this, Kenny. We get these beautiful schedules every day. And this year, we all get the emails from Morgan Petty, Kyle Petty's wife. And day one, breakfast, basically 5:30, 6:30, I guess the governor's breakfast sponsored by Paul and Sue Erickson. That's one thing I like. Individuals like you and Ann and Kim and myself, we can throw in a little money. We sponsor fuel stops or breakfast. Everybody piles the money in, and we help pay for things. But it looks like the Kyle Petty will be on the back of the Coca-Cola pickup truck at 7 a.m., people. 7 a.m. on Saturday morning. It will be the group overview, Kenny.
Yeah, I know that sounds real early for you, Kenny, but that's
brutal.
That's real early for you, but yeah, I mean, we get started when the ride. I went on a ride years ago, 3 or 4 years, and you had 500 and 600 mile days, which is no big deal, but it is when you're herding that many people. And, you came dragging in 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night sometimes.
Nuts.
And
Nuts.
Now the groups got older and said, hey, we'd like to be done like at 4:30-ish. And if dinner's at 7, could we have a happy hours, And so many people that have been on the ride for 20 plus years. It's hard. I mean, you got to work to get on the ride because of the waiting list. But they pay to go on the ride. Everybody donates. The fans come out and donate. Kyle and Morgan work hard on corporate sponsorship. I mean, it's very much a fundraiser, but some of these people have become just dear friends.
Yeah. Okay, so everybody go to the KylePettyCharityRide.com and you can follow along. If you're close, just come to our fuel stop, come to the hotel we're at, and they got lines, really organized lines. And we all get off our bikes and we sign autographs. We talk with the fans, and it is a wonderful time. Okay, Charlie. I mean, it's about you right now. How about those St. Louis Blues? How about those Blues? We're down. Winnipeg Jets have got us beat in the ground. We are 0-2 coming home. And the Blues win 2 in a row. Where are we at? Can we make it to the Stanley Cup?
Well, they don't just win. They freaking dominate both those games. 7-2, 5-1. Now, both at home in St. Louis, right? So the home team has won all the games, but also the best regular season goalie, Connor Hellebuck for the Jets, he is dicey in the playoffs, and he's been removed the last 2 games. So you wonder if it's getting in his head a little bit now.
Yeah, and Bennington, our goalie, is a Canadian. And I say, I'm laughing a little bit right now. Kenny Schrader, we will be done with this in a minute.
Well, no, didn't we have a real young goalie when we won Stanley Cup? Is that the same goalie?
Yeah.
He was really young because when he was walking down St. Louis streets during the big parade, which had no problems drinking beer, it was, no problem because he was the hero, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Bennington, Charlie, I'm going to say this, and we'll end like this. I know this is all racing all the time, everybody, but we talk about what's up. We talk about we're headed out on the Kyle Petty charity ride. We're from the middle of America, and hockey is big right now. It is, in my opinion, that our goalie, Bennington, he's a Canadian. So when we had that 4-country series, Canadian kicked our ass. And I think it was because of Bennington was in their goal because he's a Canadian. I think Bennington won that game because he was lights out.
Yeah, Bennington's stats in basically do or die games, if you go back to that Stanley Cup and then anytime it's a best of 7, his record is unbelievable when everything is on the line.
Yeah. Okay. I think we talked about our, what do we call that? Extracurricular events or whatever. We kind of got up to speed there. Kenny Schrader, what did you do over the weekend?
Worked on a race car, got it ready. I didn't really do much. Joey and did. Got rained out everywhere Friday night. Went to Peevely Saturday night. Had a good car. Got header messed up in heat race, and we put it back in the trailer instead of starting mid-pack because we're going to Canada the week after the charity ride for a couple races at Ashweekend and at Brighton Speedway. and it was good and in one piece, just with a little bit of work, and it was time to put it in the trailer. So
here's my version. I'm a big race fan. I didn't see it, but my little nephew, Aaron, he came with me to Peevely. So Charlie, listen to this story, and then we're gonna have Schrader de-bull for us. So
there's no story.
It's a farewell night to yours truly, right there. That man, Kenny
To
Schrader.
Ray and Sue, yeah. To Ray
So it's
and
a fair.
Sue.
So Saturday night at Federated Auto Parts Raceway Park, it's the official farewell and thank you for 30 years to Kenny Schrader and Ray.
I guess
Mara.
I gotta leave.
Thank you, Kenny. Thank you very much for keeping local racing here. But anyway, so it's a really nice night, and Kenny Schrader starts almost last in his heat race, close, and does some incredible moves, and he passes cars like it's nothing. Well, one of the young kids that's very fast right now, comes back at Kenny Schrader and body slams Schrader. Body slams him. Shows him no respect. Doesn't pass him clean. When he body slams Schrader, these are very expensive headers. Smashes them shut. So that kills horsepower. Takes, could possibly, mess the motor up if you ran it like that. Schrader gets out of the car, goes over, has some words with the boy. Hey, bud,
we
passed you clean.
We discussed.
Okay,
no, it was no yelling. We discussed. He's a good kid. He's a good kid.
And he is.
And he came back and won the feature. We discussed after the feature too, because I want to compliment him on how good a job he did. He's a good kid. We were all young.
So we lost Kenny Schrader because he loaded up, didn't want no more of that bullshit.
We had it. We found out what we needed to, so we were in good shape. We were in good shape.
So you're getting ready to head out. You do this every year. You create these missions, and it's like, when will we see you again? I guess the hauler's going to head out.
No, we do the Kyle Petty ride. And as soon as we get back, we go up to Canada and we do a bunch of play days for Federated, and then we race some, and then have another truck and trailer meet us from there in Michigan when we're coming back in the States with a different truck and trailer. Them guys come home, and then we'll go up to West Virginia to race. So it's just racing season finally. We get to go.
I love it, and you eat it up. I love it. Hey, how many licensed vehicles do you have now?
It don't make any difference.
63?
No, that was a long time ago.
But Charlie, here's the point.
Happened?
He did have 63 licensed vehicles. God, my mind wonders, how the hell did you insure all those? I guess some group policy or something, but that's for another day. Okay, for me, I was with Kenny Schrader, and I finished third, and then I enjoyed my night at Peevely. God, I just realized something. Last night, I went to Quincy, and I finished third again. 2 thirds in a row. But look at this. Look at this right here. Hold on. Look at that. That is a blister.
Yeah.
I know when that was, Kenny. So where you get paid at Quincy. Oh, by the way, if you go to Quincy now, they got a wall all the way around the racetrack.
Really?
And yes, and you exit like we used to years ago there. You exit right off the middle of the back straightaway, about a quarter of a mile away from my truck and trailer. So I finished third, and when I exited the racetrack, I pulled over, shut my motor off, got out of my own car, and took my transponder off myself, and turned it in to get paid.
Car owner, a crew chief, and the driver. You should do that.
So I guess that's where that happened because they made us run our transponders on the motor plate at Quincy. So I guess I got close to the headers. So 2 thirds for the Herminator. And I do want to acknowledge my Winston hat. I did not take a shower yet. So I thought, how can I cover up how junky I look. Not bad. And this guy that is of age now, in his 90s, he says, Herman, you gave me a hat years ago. Really good guy. And I want to give it back to you. And I said, well, and just politely, I said, okay, I'll take the hat back. Just stopping the conversation, right? He gives me this hat back. I'm like, oh, whoa, okay, that's big. So I had signed it. I signed it to him, to Mick, number 55. So anybody on YouTube, they can see this on, but on Dirty Mo podcast, it says to Mick, number 55. So, yeah, pretty cool. So that's what my hat is, one of those no bull hats. But okay, Kenny, it's showtime, and we got lots of topics. I guess the first one is, listen, we're going to go all over the place here, but let's knock this Talladega race out real quick, because we got really good stuff. Austin Cindric wins the race. Let's start out simple first. Charlie, I want to know your opinion too. Austin Cindric wins the race, but we see something in victory lane that we've never, and I know this is simple, but it's something we've never seen at Talladega. Talladega this year decides to go with the Indianapolis 500 wreath. You win the race, you put it around your neck. Churchill Downs, the Kentucky Derby, they get the wreath. Charlie, let's start with you first. Did you like the wreath look at Talladega? And Austin Cindric wore it into the media center. He kept it around his neck for hours.
Yeah, I think that was the difference, was that he kept it on basically the whole deal and did all of his interviews. We've seen that in the past where the guys will have that in victory lane, but Austin Cindric wanted to keep the party going.
Kenny, you're a purist.
I don't care. They gave him a wreath or whatever. It doesn't make any difference. He won the race. What I did like a whole lot was just to see his enthusiasm.
Yeah.
He was, and everybody is when you win the race, but he was pumped and he showed it, and he was sincerely grateful for the opportunity that he's been given and for everybody that helps. And he just showed more enthusiasm, I think, than you see a lot of times after the race.
Yeah, and I'm the one to point out the hardcore stuff. So Austin, for everybody listening, Austin Cindric, his father, ran Penske Racing, and people have been rough on Austin Cindric. Oh, you got that ride because your daddy works for Penske, and my thought on that is you got to drive the race car. That's his third Cup win.
Yeah.
He won it. He won at Gateway. He won. I don't care how he won it.
Yeah,
he was running second.
One of those wins was the Daytona 500. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I didn't know that much about Austin when he started running, but he's doing the job. He's doing great, and I just like the way he carries himself. I mean, he's the Penske mold, he's done good.
Yeah, his dad Tim Cindric ran Penske Racing. I think Tim just stepped down. I believe so. Charlie, is that right? Did Tim Cindric?
Not too long ago.
Yeah, I'm not saying he quit. He just it was a lot. The way it read was like, I've been here a long time. It's a lot. And Tim was the president, and he had to look over everything. But his son, Austin, who won the race at Talladega, he deserves the ride because, yes, sir, go ahead.
The race at Talladega without a big wreck. We had a couple of wrecks, but without the big one. That was neat to see. They can do it.
Clean and green, four wide, saving fuel.
Yeah.
Hey, if they're going to save fuel, it was good looking.
Yeah. Now, first and second did crash when they got help from fourth,
Yeah.
But it's they can do it, but it's just those cars are so borderline, just wiggling all the time, and you get any kind of little bump the wrong way, which is what we saw when first and second got taken out. I mean, it's razor thin edge all the time because those guys are on.
Yeah. So the deal with the saving the fuel, I studied this deal. I talked to a lot of people. It is so silly, but this is how crazy it is. The reason they save fuel is that when they come in for the pit stop, it takes longer to put gas in now than it does to change the tires because of the one lug nut. So when they come in to get fuel, the less fuel they can take means they can get off pit road quicker. That's how insane this is. I said, no, it's got to be another reason. That just sounds stupid.
Yeah, I never understood it because Sunoco has been such a great partner for NASCAR for a number of years now, and they give everybody all their fuel. So it doesn't seem like that big a deal if you got to save some.
Yeah, so I saw Jeff Gluck. And this is one thing, Charlie, I'd like to hear you talk about because you're a TV guy. Charlie worked for Channel 2 here in St. Louis. You worked for Channel 2, Charlie, for 14 years.
Mm-hmm.
So we got two different scenarios here. We got the ratings that will come out on Wednesday. You know, they'll tell us the ratings, how many millions of people watched. Then over here, you got Jeff Gluck, who's got 300,000 followers, and he came up with this thing years ago. It was just fun, but now it's taken serious by NASCAR. And the question is, was it a good race or bad race? So this morning on Monday, the fans are almost 60% it was a bad race. But read it out, Charlie. I see it.
Right now it is 41% yes, it was a good race, 59% no with over 12,000 votes.
Okay, now I want to say this. You have to watch the race to comment on that. So in other words, I got to watch the race and then I'll tell you. So the ratings are going to be high. Kenny, did you watch the race?
Most of it.
Yeah.
Did not see all of it. Saw the end of stage 1, saw the end of stage 2, and I saw more than just that. Was gone for about a half hour, and I did see the final second half of the last stage. A lot of rubbing. It's making exciting getting in the pits, and the pit stop strategy. That's one thing. You know, the manufacturer's pitting together.
Yeah.
And then they running them couple extra laps where it's a place where the tire wear, you know, and it isn't that big a deal.
Yeah.
So I guess them Toyotas, whatever, they all went from the front to the back, just with when they pit it and stuff. The first Toyota was mid-pack or something, 18th or something, wasn't it?
That's
at one point.
Yeah, this is Toyota's strategy every year. Go to the back. Okay, hold on. I got to comment on this. For the people on the YouTube portion, I just want you to see this. Dale Jr. yesterday, I'm on a plane and I cannot see the race. Care to reply with a description of the event? 420,000 people. Basically, man, that guy's powerful. Dale Jr., 2.5 million followers. You don't think he moves the needle. It's very hard to watch every single lap, every single race. I know people in the media, friends of mine from St. Louis, we talked to each other. I'm on my way back from Quincy last night, and we were talking to each other, and they're in the media. They're at the races every week, but they finally took a vacation before we get on this stretch. And it's very hard for the media to know everything too. Things move so fast, but yeah, so we'll find out. But yeah, go ahead, Charlie.
Oh, I just want to bring this up. I know you're going to move on to the Chipper Jones thing, but you guys were racing. Did you see what people were? I want to be the stirrer here. Did you see what people were complaining about TV wise yesterday?
It had to be stupid stuff. What?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of with them on this. And again, I know you guys were racing, but end of the race, they did a side-by-side commercial with about 6 to 9 laps to go, and everybody was not happy with it. And I have to agree with them. It did kind of kill the momentum there when you're side by side. And I understand. Look, I worked in TV, radio. We're all advertiser driven. I understand you got to pay the bills, but I did find that a little odd.
It was side by side, though.
I know.
They still watched the race.
Yeah.
I mean, Jiminy.
You know what I like about
what do
this?
You want?
You know what I like about this? I'm gonna give a third different opinion on this. You two agree to disagree, and I say this is what we're talking about. This is where we are in society today. We are so we are hyper magnifying glass. We are so in our day, we were happy just to get it on TV. Now we're talking about the graphics. I don't like the graphics. I'd rather scroll on the side. I mean, people, go get a beer. Go get a beer. There's the race. It's right there on TV. Now we bitching about the rundown orders on the bottom or on the side. And his voice is whiny and oh my God, what has happened? It's nuts. It's nuts. Okay. Now, I'm going to set this up last night after the race. One of the most famous players in Atlanta Braves baseball history is Chipper Jones. Chipper Jones is very good friends with the Earnhardts. Dale Sr. loved him. I mean, this guy is good. Chipper Jones is Hall of Fame. Charlie, is Chipper Jones in the Hall of Fame yet?
He should be. I think so, yeah. I don't know if his 5 years are up. Well, I'll check that right now. I think he is.
So, when you go to Talladega, Dale Sr. wore the Atlanta Braves hat. He knew the manager of the Atlanta Braves. Dale Sr., listen, it's simple. The Atlanta Braves is right in there with the infield. It's like we're drinking beer, we're wearing our Braves hat and Earnhardt. So after the race is over, Chipper Jones is clearly in his right mind. He gets on social media. His pronunciation, there's a period, there's a comma. He lights in to Joey Logano chews his ass so much to where Dale Jr. goes, oh my God, Chipper. So we're coming to the end of the second stage, and Bubba Wallace is front row outside, and Austin's pushing him. There's nothing Austin can do. Front row inside is Joey Logano. Joey wants to win the stage. But Austin is second in line. Austin can't check up because he got the whole field behind him. So Austin ends up pushing Bubba to the second stage win, maximum 10 points. Here's where it goes bad. TV goes to Joey Logano's in-car camera. And Joey Logano, who is the nicest man in the world, we love Joey Logano. Joey Logano, mother Austin Cindric, wide open on TV. So Chipper Jones brings this to light that, Joey Logano is only a teammate when he's up front. And Chipper Jones is so famous that this is radio gold because Chipper Jones is born around Daytona Beach, Florida. Chipper Jones is a NASCAR guy. Who wants to go first?
You want me to read it so you know exactly what he said?
Yeah, yes, please.
Okay. By the way, Chipper Jones, Hall of Fame 2018.
Wow.
Yes. So here's Chipper's tweet. He says, congrats to Austin Cindric on his Talladega win. Good teammates are hard to come by, boss. Remember that one of yours MF'd you on national TV when in all actuality, you did everything possible to keep from wrecking him. Hate to be deuces in the team meeting on Monday. Some people are hooray for our team as long as I'm the star, as every team has them. Hendrick, RCR, JGR, Penske, etc. Sometimes karma is glorious. Enjoy this one. In case anyone is confused, let me be clear. And then he ats Joey Logano, meaning he tags Joey Logano in the tweet so he can see it.
Okay, let me add one more thing here because I got to give Kenny Schrader a little more information. After the race is over, Joey Logano has a spoiler bolt missing, so he's disqualified from the event, like last. Second place, Ryan Preece has whatever a spoiler shim is missing. So our second place finisher, Ryan Preece, he's DQ'd. So then Chipper Jones goes on and retweets it and goes, karma's a bitch. And what are your thoughts on one of the greatest Atlanta Braves pitcher being so mad at a guy? You and I love Joey Logano. He's the nicest guy in the world.
It's real simple. It goes back to it's one opinion. I don't know Chipper Jones. I obviously know the name. And he's welcome to think whatever he wants. I do agree with him, some of that stuff that he said. But it's all heat of the moment when you're in that car. We've been on both sides of it. We know it. And I could care less about tweets and followers and influencers and all that shit. I don't care. It's social media and it's screwed up all this shit.
Right.
But I like to race.
Charlie.
But just the race. You just watch. Now I don't care about everyone's friggin' opinion because they got a phone with a keyboard on it.
Charlie, this is beautiful segue. Thank you, Kenny Schrader, for that.
Well, it's just
no, because this segue is going to be awesome. Charlie, can you go to Adam Stern on X, and we're going to talk about Cleetus, a.k.a. Garrett Mitchell. Okay, you're going to see on X Adam Stern. He's going to talk about social media influencer Cleetus ran the ARCA race. Cleetus has got 4 million followers. I mean, blows NASCAR out of the water in every way. Just unbelievable, right? So everybody that does not know, Cleetus is a character, but his real name is Garrett Mitchell. And he decided, although he's a character and makes millions and millions of dollars, NASCAR realized after the ARCA race at Daytona, we better play along with this guy because he's gonna. Our young crowd, they know. Even Mike Joy on Happy Harvick said last week. Mike Joy last week said, "We've got a real issue in NASCAR." Charlie, come to find out, the thing we're making fun of. The age group that watches Herm Schrader. That's the same age group that watches all of NASCAR right now. I didn't really realize until Mike Joy said it on Happy Harvick. The same age group that watches Herm Schrader, that's the age group that watches NASCAR. So NASCAR's got a real issue to grow. Cleetus is bringing those kids in. Okay, now read what Adam Stern said.
So Adam Stern says on X, NASCAR gained between 20,000 and 30,000 new subscribers on its official YouTube page over the last day. So this is about 24 hours ago. After having an in-car camera for Cleetus McFarland during yesterday's ARCA race at Talladega, per data from Social Blade.
So, Kenny, we hate social media, but it's here.
No, I hate social media. You don't. Yeah. You thrive on it.
But that's just because I tell people to go themselves.
No.
You know what I mean? I'm like you. You're the same as me, except you control yourself. I've been around you. If somebody with me, I just go right back at them. You just walk away. And then you talk about it. You're real calm. And I'm like the wiry little.
Hey, so the Cleetus deal.
Yeah.
If he's as stout as he is on social media,
yeah,
NASCAR needs to do whatever they need to do to capitalize on that. Now, there's got to be, we can't just be all old people, older age group, because Talladega yesterday looked better than I've seen it looked in a long time. Now, is it full? No. Was it damn good crowd and infield, a lot of motorhomes and everything? Yes. Things are getting better. They're not going back to where they were instantly, but they're trending that way, and that's all we can do. And if someone doesn't like what they're seeing on the racetrack now, I'm sorry. You really need to do something else, because it's not going to get better. I mean, yes, it can always get better, but what they're giving them is great.
So, Charlie, Kyle Busch makes waves, but we're just really lucky today because we got great segues. So, with that point, Kenny, we all know that a lot of people go to Talladega, to the infield. They don't know nothing about racing. Actually, I have people send me. I have a good friend. It's all those videos you see that I put on X. That's from a high NASCAR executive. So there are people in the NASCAR executive board, and they send me this stuff to show me the vibe. So in the infield at Talladega, they figured the fans out. The fans don't really like watching the race. And hold on, there's going to be a scenario here. So what they do in the infield at Talladega, they're there to drink. So they build this massive building. Now, you and I have not, it was not there when we raced, Kenny. There's a building so big that you could put 12 tractor trailers in. The fans go in the building. It's air conditioned a little bit and a massive big screen. So the people go in there. And it reminds me of the St. Louis Blues or the Cardinals. We're going to go to the race. We really don't want to watch it. We want to drink beer and we want to watch it on a TV while we're at the race. What the hell is this new? Yeah, okay, what's your take?
Nothing wrong with that. You're going to it's an event. It's an event. You know, like we talked about that before. Bristol used to be a terrible race. When it was one lane around the bottom, it was a terrible race. It was a hell of an event.
I love you.
You go into the event. There's nothing wrong with that. Man, you go out with your friends. You maybe got, if you're in the infield, more than likely got the camper there. Whether it's a new Prevost or a tent, doesn't make any difference. You're at the event.
Okay, so Kyle Busch makes waves on this topic. Kyle Busch on why he never raced in Formula One. This is Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch, how come you never raced in Formula One? Kyle Busch says, F1 reminds me a little bit of the Kentucky Derby. All the girls in the hats and dresses, you know? Princess vibes. So, Formula One, they don't race. We know this. But it's about man and machine, who can go the fastest. And for the most part,
they don't race like we race. They race a different style, but they race. They race their ass off.
Yeah, isn't it amazing? They don't battle for positions, but they're
going so fast with open wheel cars on a narrow little road course. It'd be pretty hard to do, like, bouncing off of one another.
So they say, there's a media group that owns Formula One. We know this. It's a media group that owns Formula One. They bought them, 5-10 years ago. I don't know what it was, but they promote Formula One with a festival around the race. So people go, like you said, there's a race going on. By the way, we're drinking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a big part of any race. It's an event. I mean, I don't know about other stuff, but you don't go to the Kentucky Derby to watch this one friggin' lap with the horses. That's not why I can't believe it. I mean, I've never been and not gonna go.
And went.
Yeah. But it's like, really? We're all gonna go there and we're gonna watch this lap? Ooh.
It's funny.
It's an event.
Charlie, he's right. Charlie, is this where we are in the new world now?
It's where we've always been. Nothing's changed.
You know, in a strange way, I agree with you. I just see them now. So, you know, they would say the best party is at the shittiest bar, junkie bar. You know, they make songs about it. Charlie, when you watch the Blues or you watch the Cardinals, you get up, you go to the bathroom, and you realize there's more people in the concourse drinking, watching the game on TV at the game. I just think our sports go, okay, is this where we're at now? And they do it now.
Yeah, I think people want to go to an event and have fun, even if they're not a fan or a casual fan. Then here's where I'll agree with Schrader on I like a lot of aspects of social media. I don't like this aspect. I do think social media and Instagram has turned us into a very vain, look at me society. And I think a lot of people that go to these events, whether it's Formula One, Kentucky Derby, they want that picture or video to post on Instagram or YouTube or wherever to show people they're there to brag about their life. I think that's a huge part of it. I really do.
Okay, now this is comedy. This is comedy, what I'm going to say. They say the ladies get facial surgery so they look good on their Instagram posts. Is this true?
Yeah, and there's filters, right?
That's
I mean,
nuts.
half those pictures, it's not how they really look. There's all kinds of filters that make everybody look skinnier, make your face, right, make maybe your boobs bigger, whatever it is. They have all kinds of ways to make themselves look better.
Yeah, my boobs ain't really this big. They just I've got a filter.
Oh my God. I tell you what, no matter what, that is great conversation. Okay, moving on. This is a big one, and we on purpose put it towards the end of the show here. This is just pretty simple, but everybody's in awe. NASCAR said, okay, big boys, you don't like our next gen car. So we're going to go to the All-Star race, and we're going to do safety inspection. And all of you can do whatever you want to the car. And all the teams said, no way. So NASCAR called them out, Kenny. What is your thought on this?
If I was a team, I would definitely say no way. These are the rules we race under every week. Let's stay those rules. Now, you're going to say this weekend, we don't have to abide by those rules. So we got to spend how much money? We can't test, but we got to spend how much money and do all this development to try to come up with something different? No, it's just another friggin' race, you know. And just my mind, but that race is, you know, how big a race is anymore. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's $1 million, but we don't even know what the other races pay to win now. You know, they took that away from us a number of years ago. We don't know. The public doesn't know what these races pay to win anymore. So, I mean, it's still a big deal when it was the Winston. And Winston did a ton of promotion. And we packed Charlotte.
200,000 people.
Well, yeah, whatever it was. We packed it the weekend before the Coca-Cola 600. You know, it started out, it was the day before. It was the day before the Coca-Cola 600. It was Saturday when they first ran it. That was different. But now, would the teams rather have a weekend off? Probably.
Yeah. Here's my thought. And this is this way my brain works. I see these very successful car owners who I love them all. I am a make money guy. I believe in if you do good, you make money. I'm that guy. But I see a lot of NASCAR car owners spend a lot of their own money to help NASCAR. It's like, okay, we're going to do this. And these teams go over and they do this and they spend a lot of their own money hoping that they're going to get in NASCAR's good graces. Then you realize, okay, all my own money I spent, NASCAR really don't like me anymore. So with that point, well, that's my thought. Okay, they're all buddies and they go out on the boats, but Childress still gets fined, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they got to, right? I know you agree with it. Why don't we, if we're gonna spend money, if we're gonna spend our own money, why don't we go to Bristol and run a fake 100 lap race with whatever Denny Hamlin on Actions Detrimental? Denny Hamlin says, if NASCAR will listen to us, we can fix this car. Well, damn it, fix it. The whole field show up at Bristol and, I don't know, run 200 lap races, not for TV. What's your thought on my idea?
It's your idea. You can think whatever you want.
Goodyear's got to give the tires free to the teams. Can't pay for them.
Oh, yeah. Because that $20,000 tire bill makes a hell of a difference when you go racing in the whole nother race. I mean, you're spending so damn much money anyway, so you got to buy 10 sets of tires. I know it's a lot of money, but think about it.
Isn't it funny when they'll fine people nowadays $500,000? You're getting a $500,000 fine, and everybody goes, that ain't nothing. They blow through $1 million a day. It's like, whoa, what happened to us? Yeah. What will get your attention? $2 million?
Yeah. I don't know what the big fines are now, but
they're insane. $250,000, $50,000 for Xfinity. I mean, they just had one. Okay, Charlie. I mean, you follow all this. We talk about it. To me, Bristol's the only race that everybody complains about.
Yeah, I would say I would split the difference. I agree with Schrader of the teams not wanting to spend all the money right now, but I would look at this also as an opportunity to fix the car moving forward for the short track type packages, which has been the issue. Or maybe NASCAR takes the whole off season and they do this, right? Like, I understand the teams go, I don't want to do this year, spend a ton of money for one race, but why don't you use that type of situation to try and fix the car, which I think the teams probably could do if you gave them an off season. Don't you think?
They couldn't. Nobody likes a new car. But when Darrell, like we said this a couple weeks ago, when Darrell won 7 in a row, that was the good car. That's what we want. We want the old Cup cars. But he wins 7 in a row, and that's okay.
See, the issue I see is these drivers badmouth the car. It's like lining up. We all say it, it's like lining up in front of a restaurant. Don't go in there. The food's bad. Well, the drivers just rile the fan base up, but I mean, that's just what I see. I'm like you, Kenny, and we agree. We're lockstep on this. Kyle Larson just kicked their ass at Bristol.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you what else Kyle did. Friday night, I'm switching here. Yeah. Friday night, World Outlaw Sprint Cars at Jacksonville, Illinois. He started 6th. Took him a little bit and drove away from him. Drove through him and drove away from him. And the neatest thing was I hear David Gravel, our point leader, get interviewed after the race, and he's like, I don't know what he does. I mean, it's just him. Obviously, he's got a good car. Everybody's got good cars. But he just is exceptional. He's exceptional.
Charlie, I like to talk to you about this because you're a sportster. That's my nickname for you. You see all these athletes. It is hard to swallow, isn't it, Charlie, when God gifts one person with the talent. I mean, Kenny, I agree with you. What I watched Kyle Larson do at that Jacksonville, Illinois bull ring, Kenny Dobson did a great job. I mean, this kid just got done practicing at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in a car that runs 240 mile an hour at top speed.
He bounced off the wall twice.
Yeah, he practiced. He wrecked. But here he is at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway flying an airplane on the ground and goes over to this insane car, and he doesn't run with them all the time, and just jumps in it and runs this crazy ass groove up over the wall and turns 3. And I'm like, he's going to wreck, and he never wrecked. God just gives. Do you agree, Charlie? What athlete is like that out there?
Oh, I mean, there's guys like that in every sport. Oh, I love it. And am I a little bit jealous? Sure. I tried to play baseball growing up, and I was okay. But when you see guys who were literally made, right? I mean, literally their bodies and brains were made for their particular sport. Everything. I mean, you can look at swimming. Look at Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps, his entire body was made to be a swimmer with big shoulders, big hands, big feet, right? Some people, if you're a basketball player, if you're 7'1", you're probably gonna be pretty good at basketball, right? You could try your hardest, but if you're 5'4", you probably won't be a very good basketball player. I think sometimes, to me, it's more your body and your brain. You're just sometimes made for a specific sport.
And the other thing, Kenny, about Kyle Larson is he's little and so tiny. I mean, you and I are around him. His arms are littler than mine, but man, he don't give up. He's got this stamina.
Yeah, but what I'm kind of saying is, all right, so people are bitching about the car because he led 411 laps, was it?
All of them
at Bristol.
Yep.
Well, what's wrong with the World Outlaw sprint cars?
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that car? Because he made everybody look bad in that show too. So I mean, maybe we got another problem. Kyle's just friggin' faster than everybody.
And so, thank you for putting us back on the train tracks, Kenny. But there's something wrong with the car. There's something wrong with the next gen car.
We got to get on them sprint cars because they're all screwed up.
Yeah. Because every time Kyle Larson comes, he wins by a straightaway.
Not every time, but he's the guy I bet on.
Yeah. Okay.
3 excellent Lucas Oil late mile races this weekend.
That's it, boy. I
like where
you're going.
Delaware, Hagerstown, Maryland, and Port Royal Speedway in Pennsylvania. 3 good ones.
So, Kenny, in the Lucas Oil race is 2 of them. Ricky Thornton, he wins. And then down there in Talladega, the bull ring, Bobby Pierce wins. Now, is it fair to say that Ricky Thornton and Bobby Pierce are on top? They're the ones right now.
Well, Devin Moran won at Georgetown for his 6th win of the year or something like that, 5th or 6th in Lucas. So there's a lot of them really running good, but it's just neat for the Talladega got rained out Friday night at the short track, and Lil Pierce won the 50 Saturday night, and he's had a fantastic year so far. But there was just a lot of good races this weekend. Hopstadt Saturday night with the World Outlaw sprint cars, Hodenshaw. Yeah. First ones at the track, quick time, heat, dash, and feature.
That's badass. Mm-hmm. That's badass. Yeah, Sheldon Hodenschild. Shout out to Jennifer and Richard Marshall who sponsor me. They own that team. Priority Aviation. Okay. Michael Rigsby. We all know Michael Rigsby. We had Michael Rigsby on Kenny Conversation. Michael is a brilliant man, extremely smart, and what he said to me made me go. Michael Rigsby said he has a problem with NASCAR because the dirt racers are as talented, but they don't get attention. And I'm like, listen to yourself. And that NASCAR is so hard to get into. You got to have this money. Bobby Pierce comes out 2 weeks ago and said, Bobby Pierce says, I went the NASCAR route. Our family spent all our life earnings, drove, Mike Mittler's truck, And then in the end, we went to Richard Childress's office. And now Bobby Pierce put this story on social media 2 weeks ago. And he said, Richard Childress looked at him and said, Bobby, we know you're good. We need $3.5 million. This highly irritates Michael Rigsby. This is the way it is.
What do you think you need if you want to go run the World of Outlaw Late Model Series or the Lucas Oil Late Model Series or High Limit or World of Outlaw races, all the series for a year? You need a truck and trailer and 2 or 3 cars and a half a dozen engines and 3 or 4 people. You need $1 million a year besides all the equipment. It's no different. Our sport, it costs an insane amount of money to run a vehicle around a circle fast every weekend. It costs a fortune to do those series too. NASCAR's no different. It costs more to do that because there's a lot more people at home watching it than there are watching it on their TV than there are streaming. There's a lot more people in the grandstands. So, I mean, we have a hell of a crowd at Eldora, and it's in the 20s, but that's not like 150 at some of these places. So, it's no different. It's not like I'm just going to go run my dirt car because I can't afford to do that. It costs a fortune to run those cars at those levels. It's no different. It's just zeros. You change series, you just add another zero in the end.
So well said. I talked to Brian Shirley on Kenny Conversation. I said, okay, Shirley, straight up, you got that Ford Durham motor in your car. How much you pay for it? $60,000. I said, no, 58. No, 60.
Yeah.
50 something for a Chevrolet. I'm like,
nothing's ain't different.
Wow. It's got to pay a minimum of $10,000 to win because you got a $60,000 motor in your car. And yeah, I agree with you, Kenny. It costs a lot of money. It's funny how because dirt races are at tracks that have porta potties and it's looked at as lesser, but you're right. To pull into that racetrack that's got porta potties, it costs a lot of money to run that race.
Not all porta potties, but they have porta potties there also.
They're famous for porta potties.
Yeah. It's nothing no different. It's just zeros.
Right. Okay. Speaking of zeros, Max Verstappen is the new Ayrton Senna. He's the new Nigel Mansell. He's the new Lewis Hamilton. Max Verstappen is the man of the hour in Formula One. It is reported that Aston Martin, the car company, has offered Max Verstappen $300 million, 3-year deal at $100 million a year. There's a lot of money in Formula One, ain't there? A lot of money in that partying series.
I would never do that. I'd make him sign me a 6-year deal and just give 50 a year. Milk that thing a little bit longer.
Job security.
Yeah.
That's a great story. Okay, right there. That's what I'm looking for. So tell the story about Dale Sr. and Dale Sr.'s coming to you for advice about a contract. The story's great.
Yeah. It wasn't quite that way. I don't want to throw out numbers, but I walked in, seen Childress's hauler, and Childress and Senior there. Dale's got on his little cheater glasses, and they got papers laid out. I assumed it was a contract, and I said, "Oh, business. I'll come back." He said, "No, sit down." I sat down. He looked at me. He said, Childress right there. He said, "Would you drive a car 3 years for this much money?" I said, "Hell no." And he looked at Childress like, "Hey, I told you, that's not right." I said, I would not drive it 3 years for that much money. I'd drive it 10 years for that much money. You know, and senior's like, get out of here. Call me, Richard, call me, you know. But, yeah, it was, but, you know, those numbers it was a big number then. But, you know, that was then. It's not now.
Charlie, these numbers are bigger than professional sports figures. What baseball or football player makes $100 million a year?
Per year? I mean, quarterbacks now are making 50, 55, 60 per year. Shohei Ohtani, what is he making per year? About 700, excuse me, 700, I think, for a 10-year deal that was deferred. So about 70 million per year, I'm pretty sure.
How many football, baseball, or basketball players or tennis players or anything that have got killed in the last 20 years playing their sport?
Good point. And they will kill some Formula One racers.
Well, I mean, it's that series has got unbelievable safer compared to back in the day. But it's apples and oranges.
Kenny, you bring up a good point. When I worked for Fox Sports, we would have meetings, and they went into an area where NASCAR had all these safer barriers, Hans devices. And when I was in these TV meetings, they said, look, guys, we're not out there to tell you what to say, but when you get a chance, remind everybody that this is a very dangerous sport. And I like what you're saying, Kenny.
Well,
you know, Max.
Yeah, statistically, it's not near as dangerous as it was, you know, in the earlier years. You know, it wasn't near as dangerous as it was when we raced as it was before us. You know, but it continues to get safer. But, you know, if you go back through the years, I don't know how many ball players, any of them shaped balls, have got killed on the field. I know it's happened, but got killed during the game.
Yeah.
Very small percentage compared.
I like the way you wrapped that up, Charlie. He reminded us that race car drivers deserve money because it is a dangerous sport.
Well, yeah, and if you make money, that's great. We're doing it because you love to do it anyway.
Yeah,
you know.
I'm sure we got jokes, but we got one story that a fan has asked, and my brother Mike sent it to me. My brother Mike Wallace sent me this. It is out there. It is on social media, and I don't know how you know this guy. Let me go to Mike's post. But anyway, it is so good. And I know the story, but I'm like, who is this guy? How does he know Schrader? There is a guy out there on social media right now that tells the story accurately. Maybe not the way you would tell it, but you are running a West Coast race. I'm assuming it's a Winston West race.
It was Northwest Tour.
Tell us about this. It's funny as all get out.
Northwest Tour race, and I'm forgetting whose car I was driving. He built the Scales up in Washington State. Anyway, we were on Goodyears. You really needed to be on Hoosiers, but I had to run Goodyears. And we were good. We led a bunch, but I'm screwed at the end of the race. I mean, we got like 10 to go, and they're all over me. And we catch a yellow. And it's like, man, I can jump the green by myself a couple laps and stuff, but I don't, it's just not good. So I'm looking around the car. We got maybe 8 to go. Green comes out. I was looking around the car, and I was like, what can I do? You know, you're looking old days, something to throw out and stuff, but
Yeah.
it's an old style, no fire system, just fire extinguisher. So you reach up there and you unhook it, that little latch, and you put it between your legs, and you pull the pin out. So I got between my legs, restart, and shift, jump to start a little bit, buy myself a couple laps, and I don't know, maybe 2 to go. Come off turn 2, and he's right up underneath me. And I just raised that bottle up to the window net and just... So all this white stuff comes out of the car. He checks up. I stay full speed. He gets back on throttle. He stays full speed, but he's behind me now. A little bit of gap. No liquid was down. No one slipped or slid, so they didn't throw the yellow. We win the race. And NASCAR official out there, it was Gib Repass. He was a great man. Did a good job with those series. And he afterwards, going through inspection, he's like, I don't know what that smoke was, but they told me you never slowed down, never threw out any smoke, or no, laid anything down, so we didn't throw the yellow. I said, that was my fire extinguisher, Gib. He said it went off. And I said, well, it did when I pulled that handle. He said, I was just looking for something I need to buy me, a couple car links there hold off a couple more laps, and it worked. There was nothing illegal about it, I guess. But Talladega, I don't remember what year, but had 2 or 3 fire bottles go off in the cars. Buddy Baker was one of them. I don't know, maybe been Kale or something, because they get X amount of heat in the car, and the fire bottle went off, thinking there's a fire, and so they let off and kick it out of gear and shut it off, and come down pit road, and it's like, hey, there's nothing wrong with this thing. Fire bottle went off. You think it blew up. That's how hot they were. But they say, hey, if all of a sudden you think it blows up, it might just be the fire bottle. So, oh, great.
That is legendary.
You look around, you got to have something to work with. That's you're in there, can't throw a steering wheel out.
When I drove for Jay Robinson, we would put roll bar padding in the car because we get lapped all the time there at the end of my career. And I do the same thing. Miami Homestead, when you're coming off 2, just throw some roll bar padding out. A couple laps go by. Caution. Yeah. All right. And get me some more used tires on my car here.
and that was all great till they started coming up with more and more cameras.
Yeah.
Then you started getting in trouble.
Yeah. Okay, Charlie or Kenny, do we have any jokes?
I don't have any jokes.
Charlie?
All right. I got 4. But first, Dirty Mo Media, as I think people know by now, they've launched the new e-commerce merch line. They've got awesome Herm Schrader merch, hats, shirts, hooded sweatshirts, all that. Visit shop.dirtymomedia.com to check out all the new stuff. Okay, jokes. These are kind of corny. Here we go. What did one toilet say to another? What did one toilet say to another?
God, this sounds like it's funny. I don't know.
You look flushed.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What lights up a soccer stadium? What lights up a soccer stadium?
Yeah. What is it?
A soccer match.
Ah! You ever know those jokes aren't really jokes anymore? They're cliches.
This one's really dumb. Really dumb. What does corn say when it gets a compliment? What does corn say when it gets a compliment?
We're really reaching.
Aw, shucks.
It's funny. It's
then
so
this
stupid.
One, yes, this one's equally stupid. What's red and bad for your teeth? What is red, the color red, and bad for your teeth?
Blood.
A brick. I just Google jokes and I read what I see.
Yeah.
There you go.
You might need to read down the list a little further, Charlie. Yeah.
Hey, this is show like what, 22. I mean, hey, we need more jokes from the listeners and viewers. So if you're watching or listening, I have read every single joke that a viewer has sent in, as long as it wasn't too risque. So we will read them.
You've done good, Charlie. Hey, listen, it's hard to come up with great jokes every Monday, but they're well worth it and they're a lot of fun.
It must be hard because we're not getting it done.
No. Well, all right, everybody. Speak now or forever hold your peace. So, listen, it's just the way I am. Charlie, what are you going to do next week? Kenny Schrader and myself are going to be on the Kyle Petty charity ride.
We got to figure that out. We got to talk with Dirty Mo Media, hit up Rick Mast, and see what they want. That is to be determined.
Okay.
Rick Mast does a good job.
Yes, he does.
He's funny.
Yes. We all love Rick Mast. He's such a good man for all the right reasons. Just a good man. All right, everybody. That was a good time. We talked about it all. And as I always say, remember, you can find Herm Schrader on YouTube or Dirty Mo Podcast. And until the next show, goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.